Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici, and this tutorial that I'm going to present to you, I'm so excited. It is the 3 tips that you need to know to uplevel your game in Canva to get more engagement, because I feel like there's so many people who are putting a lot of designs out there that really could get a lot more traction and a lot more conversation started if you just use a few of the different features that they have in Canva, and they're not very hard to use. So this is going to be a very short tutorial, but I want to make sure that it is jam-packed with information that you can use to uplevel your Canva game. I'm the founder of College of Style, so I definitely want to make sure that you have a great introduction into what we do. We help female entrepreneurs build and design unforgettable brands. And so this fits right into that lane of creating a design that is going to get you more eyeballs, more of that traction you need to get engagement, turn those followers into converted customers, and eventually raving fans, right? So what I want to do today is share my screen. So I'm going to share my screen to one of the things that I love when I go over to YouTube, which is that YouTube graphic that you see that really is either going to pull you in or not pull you in, right? So let me hit that share screen button so that you can see exactly what I see. So on here, you can see on the left-hand side, you see kind of the menu in Canva, which goes over a lot of different things. So you see at the top, you see, and you can see my mouse moving over here. You can see templates, elements, uploads, photographs, text, logos, folders, and then you can open a lot more here, which goes into a lot of other different aspects. But what we're going to focus on today is over here in the design elements. Okay, you can see as I kind of scroll through on this design, you can see all of the different brackets that kind of house the different elements, right? So you can see the text pop up, you can see the one behind it, you can see the black. If I move it, you can see how that works. And then you can see photograph, right? So all of these things have to kind of work together. But one tip that you can do to make this actually move is use one of the different elements inside of Canva. And a lot of people don't use it. It's this button right up here that says animate. And when you click on it, there's a lot of different elements that come up over here. And as you scroll over, you can see how they animate. Right now we're on none. Okay. So if you scroll over photo zoom and you click on it, you can see that the photo is now moving, right? It's zooming in. You can go on photo flow and it will move to the left. You can do photo rise. Now it's rising up. You can go to breathe, right? And it's breathing itself forward, right? Fade. All of these different things tumble in, rise, pan, drift. A lot of times people think that you have to have some sort of video editor to make things work in a particular way. Now for Canva, all you have to do is click on that animate button and then just start playing around. Now we're in where it says photo animations. If you click over to the left-hand side on the top above here where you see my mouse, my arrow, page animations is where that means that all of your elements for your page will start moving, right? So you can then click over into all these different animations where the entirety of your page is now animated. So these are some of the things that I think are really simple to do. It's an amazing part of Canva that I may or may not have played around with before, but for me, I'm like, if I don't have to get into a video editor and I'm using Reels, for instance, and I just want to put a picture and some text and animate it and put it into Reels, boom, done. I don't have to edit anything. And if you really wanted to, like we said in this more category over here, you can put in audio, right? So when you get into all these different things on Canva, it's really great to get over to that animate button and click it, find what works for you for page animations. I mean, you just never know what style is your own until you actually may see it just come across the screen, right? The second tip that I wanted to give you for Canva is when you are using different kinds of, what is it called? Different kinds of social media graphics, right? And let's say you have something in Canva and you wanted to change it. If you have a pro account, you can head up to this button up here that says resize. And if you click on the resize button, you have all of these different options that come up. You can change something into a presentation form. You can change it into a poster size. You can change something into a logo. So let's just click on let's just change this into an Instagram story size, right? And down here at the bottom, you can see where it says resize, or you can copy and resize. Now, it's really important to look at what you're clicking on in your buttons, right? In your options, because then if you click copy and resize, then that means you're copying the entire thing, but bringing it over into another pane, another window, right? But if you click just resize, right, you are going to change the size of this particular file. So you're going to change it within the actual file. So it depends on where you want to bring it, what you want to do with it. But it's really important to know that that's what you're doing. So I'm just going to click resize to see what happens inside of my actual my template here that I'm working with. So right now, this is now in a story form. So this went to an Instagram story form. Now, if you look at it, that means that it's not exactly situated the way that you want it to, but the elements are still there, right? So when you're situating this, you can just, pull on things, drag things to another place, take these up maybe to the top so that you can animate things in a much bigger way so that they're not static to what they were. The other thing that you want to keep in mind as you're designing is look at the guides. When I move this, you see that purple guide come up? You want to keep things that are the text. You want to keep things that you want people to see within that frame. You don't want it to go outside the frame. You don't want it to somehow just like miss a letter, that C falling off. You want to keep it within those guides. And the reason is because Canva knows as it's creating these that you want to keep things in certain frames. But that doesn't mean that you have to keep it there. You can then drag on things and pull it to the side so that it's readable and that it makes sense. And you can move this up here. You can, I'm just going to make my picture a little bigger so that people see it. This is my my face, which is hilarious. I'm sure everybody has this face. But making sure that, you drag it so that it's off the edges and all of that. But when you think about design, you also want to think about like ground thirds, right? You want to think about white space and things like that. So if we're thinking about elements of thirds, you want to think about all of that. You don't want to have things on top. You could actually have a little space here. What I like to do in Instagram stories is make sure that I'm thinking about this top space up here at the top, because there's all of those little icons that people click into and out of at the top of their Instagram story. And then at the bottom, if you're saying, if you swipe up here or whatever, you want to make sure that there's some room down here so that you're not putting text that needs to be seen at the top or at the bottom. And that's one of the things that I love about Canva is that you have those guides so that you know not to go too far up or too far down or too far out on either side to make sure that things are legible, that things are readable. Okay, so we talked about animating. We talked about resizing. Now I want to talk about elements. Okay, so I'm going to click back on my back button because this is really great. If you ever, are messing things up and you want to go back, you can go back. Not back to the future, but you could go a little bit far back. So we go back all the way to where we were. Now I want to click on this elements button. Now I specifically set it to graphics over here. So you can see at the top, you can see all photos, graphics, videos, and audio. I love this graphics section because a lot of people just don't use it. And I don't see people bringing people in with these amazing movable graphics. So this is almost like a secret hidden pain that people just don't see. You see a lot of static images on Instagram. You see a little bit more movement because, on TikTok, you see a lot of people talking and moving and things like that. But if you just want to simply add a graphic to your design that doesn't really interfere with what you're trying to say, do it because it pulls the eye, right? It makes you go a little further in. If you can find something that is in your same color scheme, do it. If you want to click on it, and see if you can change it to something else. Sometimes graphics will let you change them as far as the color scheme. If it's just simple where you want to have a little swirly, a little bounce in the middle, do it. I think anything that's going to pull your eye to something that you are doing and making it a scroll stopping piece, that is really, really important. Now, I say this because if you don't stop the scroll, no one is going to see what you have to say, pull them into your sales funnel if you're trying to do that, get them into all that nurturing sequence that you have as a business owner that you need in order to make the sale, right? So these are some of the tips that I love to share that people are not using in Canva in order to create spectacular designs like this. I mean, just pops, right? I think that utilizing the graphics is one of the most underutilized elements inside of Canva, because all I see on Instagram is a lot of static images. And if you can make that thing pop, why wouldn't you, right? So let me stop sharing my screen. I wanted to give you a very, very special invitation to something that I'm doing. And if you see at the bottom of the screen right over here, it says Template Design Summit. And that's coming up here on January, July 1st through the 3rd. It is a free event to attend. And I'm going to put this slide up here so that you know exactly how to get there. If you register, you can attend all 3 days for free. And it is happening July 1st through the 3rd. Like I said, the registration, you would go to collegeofstyle.com in order to attend. And I am going to be joined by over 15 guest presenters. And I'm really, really excited about all of the different stuff that they're going to be talking about. Everything from workshops like this on Canva design to creating your own templates. If you are trying to have a business that is based on templates, if you are trying to figure out kind of the ins and outs of protecting your designs legally, we have some legal experts that will be talking about intellectual property and trademark and copyrights, as well as disclaimers and disclosures that are really, really important to business owners. We have so many different amazing designers, graphic designers, template designers, everything in between, from Kajabi to Show It, and obviously Canva, and people who own shops like on Etsy and Creative Market to help you figure out how to monetize your designs. So I encourage you to register today. It is free to attend. Bring a friend, right? Bring a friend, tell a friend. And what you're actually going to get when you register to attend the Template Design Summit is you get 110 pre-done templates for social media as our free gift to you for registering. So it's like a win-win. And I hope that you attend. I want you to know that there are so many other things that we did not cover in this, but these are 3 things that you can do to up-level your Canva game, to really encourage and start getting the engagement that you need for your business. Start getting people talking, start getting those DMs going. Anything that you can do in design so that you can bring people in, that is super important because it's that first impression. And I definitely want you to join us for that free Template Design Summit happening July 1st through the 3rd. I'll put that up one more time just so you can see how to register. You go to collegeofstyle.com if you haven't already. I look forward to seeing you there. I want to thank my good friend, Vanessa, whose group we are also streaming live in right now. Because she is so phenomenal. So make sure to thank her for bringing all of these live videos and tutorials into her group, Systems to Scale for Entrepreneurs. And I really appreciate you joining me today on this. If you want to, I encourage you to join my group as well, because we also do a lot of these fun tutorials and helpful information sessions and workshops in my group. It's called College of Style. And I encourage you to go over and join us over there. These are all of our details, all of our deets. If you want to join me, my name again is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.